been stolen from your world, dealing with a breakup, wandering away, heading for the water. It's one more year today. I wonder if it matters. I have said too much, I do agree. If I had my way, you come back. I would like to see those hazel eyes again. As I sit here, sitting all alone, on the same place you kept telling me I was the one. And all these letters, everything we knew. Even though you're gone away, my heart has gone with you. Night turns into day. I don't wanna wait home. Weekend feels the same. Nobody will ever know. And it's a kind of limbo that I'm in. When are you gonna let me slowly touch your skin? You and me will never be. It's clear to see I've said too much, I do agree. If I had my way, you'd come back. I just like to see those hazel eyes again. As I sit here, sitting all alone, on the same place you kept telling me I was the one. And all these letters, everything we knew. Even though you're gone away, my heart has gone with you. Even though you're gone away, my heart has gone with you.
I don't think that I'm being that selfish right now. You said yourself you'd be breaking it without. I can understand you're tired of this town, and I'm not saying that we have to settle down now. Just remember this: we could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there, made us realize we're more than just stardust. Ignore this fact if you must, to do what your dreams are. there looking for someone like you. Stardust, stardust. Yeah. I'm the lazy one, so I guess I should have known. You said yourself you wanna do this alone. What if your dreams are making it hard to think straight? If you still love me, I can wait, I can wait. And remember this, we could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there. Made us realize we're more than just stardust. Ignore this fact if you must, to do what your dreams are telling you to do. And I'll be out there looking for someone like you. Hey, I don't think you're supposed to go. Maybe I'm just too slow. We should just leave together. We could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there. Made us realize we're more than just stardust. Ignore this fact if you must, to do what your dreams are telling you to do. And I'll be out there looking for someone like you. Used to never do what's best for me. I was such a hopeless fool. I just kept making the same mistakes, yeah. That was until I found you. You became the middle way between getting no love and getting way too much. I pray that you're the one who cares for me, cares enough to keep me safe. Just like the sun, you showed me which way I should go, yeah. Just like the wind, you pulled me up when I was low, oh yeah. This time my hopes are up, 'cause you got my heart in your hand. And
just don't deep and live my life. Don't take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you're winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check on me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. Hey. Taking just a day and live my life. Don't take it personal, we just building. It's my season, lay foundation, make a name for generations. Please and make and take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I'm in a place of serene and pure and free. Hey, I ain't worried about what's the wave, only worry about me, yeah. Oh, I'm taking time out to be and live my life off screen. Taking time out to be and live my life. I get the vibe that you're distant. There's something about you that's different. I see it in your eyes. Something isn't right. Tell me again what I'm missing. Cause you're fading out. We've been here before. Tell me again, just tell me again, and I'll make it right. Don't go through that door. Tell me again, just tell me again, and I'll make it right. It is a lie when you tell me that nothing is wrong, just leave it be. But I see it in